I'm Mikiko Tani from Japan. I'm a member of the United Nations Committee on the Rights of the Child. I'm working with Luis, my colleague, to prepare for the Day of General Discussion 2018 on the theme of protecting and empowering children as human rights defenders.
Here we talk about what it means to be a child human rights defender, what challenges they face, the children who are human rights defenders.
A children's rights defender is a child who is willing to stand up for their own and other children's rights.
Yo soy un defensor de los derechos humanos.
I am a human rights defender. Soy una defensora de los derechos humanos.
I'm a human rights defender.
I am a human rights defender.
I believe we are all human rights defenders in our own ways.
Discover our stories soon on the Day of General Discussion on the 28th of September in Geneva. Follow us on social media and support us by donating now.
Action.
We've been invited to go back to be part of Children's Advisory Team to help plan the General Day of Discussion because it's just adults that are planning it, so they wanted to get children involved, so that's why we're going over.
What's very special about this Day of General Discussion, this has never been done before, is that children themselves help to prepare, help to design the program of the conference day, consult with children in their countries. And for that purpose we have selected 17 children from different countries from around the world to be on our Children's Advisory Team. This week we are working with a selected group of these children in the Children's Advisory Team. They work together with the committee and us to tell us how should we shape this program, how should we talk about this theme during the day, what are the main questions that they need to have discussed.
My name is Sigurd Mecklenburg Salvesen.
I'm Ariadna, I'm from Moldova, Chisinau.
Myself Ankit, I'm from India. I'm also part of Children's Parliament and Neighborhood Children's Parliament and National Children's Parliament. I'm Health Minister.
So Children's Day of Discussion, so children should be involved. It'd be weird if they are improving children's rights without children even being involved.
We asked lots of children in other parts of the world what were the major issues for them as human rights defenders and children. Not being safe, not being allowed, not having enough information. Those are the kinds of themes. Cameron has picked the theme of not being taken seriously. That's a really important theme.
Children can help us adults to understand what we need to talk about.
A children's rights defender is a child who is willing to stand up for their own and other children's rights.
We could do that when it comes to getting everyone involved before the Day of General Discussion or even in it at that time, so we can quickly change it. Then that would be really good.
It's so exciting. We are learning from the children.
I hope that I've gotten through to adults that children can do as much as adults can do, and I hope that we improve the DGG and hope that other children can contribute to it, and I hope that we keep improving.
Beijo e abraço. Eu chego da escola, minha mãe me dá um beijão. É uma menininha saindo da casa para brincar com os amiguinhos de bola. Criança tem direito de ter uma casa.
Qual o direito que tu escolheu?
Uma casa. Porque as crianças merecem ter uma casa.
It's about a girl whose mum is sick, and she's that sick that she can't go to the doctors to get any medicine or anything, and that was just a rough copy, but now we've got to do it on a shield, and I'm doing it as a newspaper article thing, and my title is Girl Misses School because Mum is sick.
Então, sobre o direito à vida e à paz, eu acho que a gente devia tentar mudar, porque a vida tem a violência no mundo que nos impede de viver, então a gente tem que mudar. E pela paz também é a violência, então a gente tem que tentar mudar isso, porque tem muita gente morrendo e isso não é muito legal.
Children have the right to care and a full life if they have a disability. All children have the right to care if they can't live with their family.
It's a mix of Article 6, 28 and 42. We think the right to life, survival and development is important for all children to help them enjoy their education, where an adult should know about children's rights.
Adults को make sure होना चाहिए कि बच्चों को human rights के बारे में पता हो और child rights के बारे में पता हो, और अगर उन्हें नहीं पता बच्चों को तो उनके बारे में बताए और उनकी knowledge को increase करे, और कभी भी बच्चे ह्यूमन राइट्स या फिर चाइल्ड राइट्स से रिलेटेड कुछ भी करे तो उन्हें मना ना करके उनकी हेल्प करना चाहिए और उन्हें सपोर्ट करना चाहिए। यूजुअली जो पेरेंट्स होते हैं वो अपने बच्चों को मना कर देते हैं किसी भी रैली या फिर किसी भी प्रोटेस्ट में जाने से, लेकिन ये नहीं करना चाहिए, उन्हें उसमें इंक्लूड होना चाहिए और पेरेंट्स को भी पता होना चाहिए कि ह्यूमन राइट्स और चाइल्ड राइट्स क्या है, जिससे वो अपने बच्चों को भी ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा नॉलेज दे सकते हैं।
Eu acredito que os direitos humanos são muito importantes porque eles fazem uma frente ao Estado, como, por exemplo, a garantia da nossa liberdade. E se um dia o Estado resolver, não, chega de educação, não vou investir mais, nós vamos ter os direitos humanos lá lutando contra o Estado, batendo de frente para que ele coloque crianças nas escolas, que leve a educação para todos.
Quiero defender los derechos humanos porque sé que es muy difícil estar en un lugar donde te discriminen, donde te ofendan por tu etnia, por tu idioma. Entonces, ser excluido en lo cultural y en lo social es muy feo. Entonces, defiendo los derechos porque no quiero a que los niños pasen por eso.
And I wanted to draw the Nobel Peace Prize, but I can't, so I drew a Viking.
We're currently working on a strategy for child participation.
Young people need to be loud and they need to make themselves heard, and if you have an issue, you need to shout about it from the rooftops, because we have an issue with adults generally not listening to our voices, so we need to make our voices as loud as we possibly can.
Part of this organization, especially in the decision-making process, is actually important because of the following reasons. First, we feel that we belong in this organization. Second, it is actually important to be part in the decision-making process because of what we so-called self-confidence. And third, because of what we call learning. will learn to take all the consequences in all the decisions regardless of its outcome.
Pati na rin sa harap ng mga lawmakers, katulad ng pakikilahok ko sa signature campaign para may sa batas ang Republic Act 9775 for Anti-Child Pornography Act of 2009.
这本来我看这个不就买书。
My name is Nguyễn Tuấn Nghĩa and I'm the founder of the Actions for Children organization.
The first time we realized the ability of ourselves to operate the whole project independently as the children.
So during these activities, I was encouraged to proactively give my opinions, and my comments are always recognized and respected.
Leo napenda tule wali na zuri, napenda mwingine wali nyama.
Nabahatika kutengeneza sabuni, viatu, kwa kifundi TANESCO, nachagua mwenyewe na tena kusomea.
Vipindi vya kuelimisha jamii yetu kwa ujumla, tunapanga kama tunaenda kuongelea usafirishaji wa watoto, unyanyasaji wa kijinsia, haki za watoto, tunapanga siwe.
Act is Together ist eine Gruppe von jungen Leuten, die sich alle zusammen für das Thema interessieren und auch zusammen darüber schaffen, das Grand Publik zu Lützeburg darauf aufmerksam zu machen.
เป็นแกนนำไม่ได้อย่างที่ทุกคนคิดเพียงแค่เราพร้อมที่จะเปิดรับสิ่งใหม่ๆพี่ก็เริ่มจากศูนย์ค่ะจากที่ไม่กล้าก็กล้ามากขึ้นจากที่ไม่รู้ก็รู้มากขึ้นเพียงแค่เราเชื่อมั่นน้องๆก็สามารถทำได้ค่ะ
Gern was denn die jüngeren Jugendlichen von uns fordern? Vielleicht, dass wir da auch gleich besser drauf eingehen können.
Zum Beispiel ein 13-jähriges Mädchen von heute hat
Good afternoon, everyone. Greetings from Lagos, Nigeria. This is Women Hospital of Nigeria. I have here with me today our youths and children who are members of OPON. And OPON is planning a big event in July 2018.
Can you travel to I want Welcome to go to church, school, children's school, mosque and playground to tell them about human trafficking.
Heyecanlandığımda yanımdaydılar ve beni sakinleştirdiler. Arkadaşımla kavga ettiğimde barışmak için yardım ettiler.
How do we ensure, this participation is genuine and meaningful in our lives, in the lives of others, and beyond us?
The Children's Caucus is a child participation program designed to mentor children into child rights activists.
Recolho informações de abusos sexuais contra menores. Com a informação nós levamos, publicamos no nosso jornal.
Two, three, start.
Монгол үндэсний сүлжээ үйл ажиллагаагаа төвчүүдийн тулд сүлжээнүүдээр сурах хүчтэй ба төвчүүдийн сандрын баг үеийнгийн оролцооны багийг бол зохион байгуулж ажилласан. Дээрээс нь орон нутгийн хамтарсан байгууллагатай үйл ажиллагаа зохион.
My name is Abdullah Sega, a student of the University of the Gambia and an executive member of Voice of the Young. Concerning participation.
Before coming to Voice of the Young, I remember I could not speak in public, I could not express myself. But now I believe that I can stand anywhere to represent my fellow Gambian children.
Nosotros los jóvenes necesitamos que los adultos, padres, profesores y gobernantes nos entiendan y comprendan que los jóvenes tenemos diferentes formas de expresión a través de grafitis, pinturas, arte, música, etc. Nosotros tenemos la obligación de que nuestras voces sean escuchadas, de que los adultos tengan en cuenta nuestras opiniones, ya que al participar en distintos escenarios tenemos esa capacidad de afrontar esas mismas decisiones que nosotros tomamos.
Esta agua es del río Italia y está contaminada. Por eso nosotros, los niños, somos defensores del agua, de toda naturaleza y de toda vida. Ayúdanos a que este río, del río Italia, esté limpio y ya no esté contaminado.
Por ejemplo, el caso de que si se acaba el agua, ¿acaso solo los niños van a morir de sed? No, también todos los adultos, los animales, las plantas, en este caso los humanos y la naturaleza.
If we don't address mental health with this generation, then my generation has to live with these issues for the rest of their lives.
This legislation would mean Scotland be a world leader in giving all citizens the right to access sanitary products. This issue should not be ignored. It is unhealthy and unsafe.
I think the biggest issue is Islamophobia young Muslims are experiencing across Scotland through the likes of media and social media.
I feel so thankful and so grateful for Scotland and its people who have provided me with access to a wide range of opportunities and helped me to start a new life here full of dignity and safety.
What I would like the Scottish Government to address with their legislation is to maybe make accessibility on public services.
Như là khi bố tao cáu và tao đứng lên tao nói bảo vệ mẹ hoặc là nói cho bố hiểu thì bố lại tát tao luôn, đánh luôn, đâu có suy nghĩ gì nữa đâu. Vậy thì chính bố cũng không suy nghĩ mà bố lại bắt mình như thế, thấy nó gò bó lắm luôn.
Então, sobre o direito à vida e à paz, eu acho que a gente devia tentar mudar, porque a vida tem a violência no mundo que nos impede de viver, então a gente tem que mudar. E pela paz também é a violência, então a gente tem que tentar mudar isso. Porque tem muita gente morrendo e isso não é muito legal.
Quiero defender los derechos humanos porque sé que es muy difícil estar en un lugar donde te discriminen, donde te ofendan por tu etnia, por tu idioma. Entonces, ser excluido en lo cultural y en lo social es muy feo. Entonces, defiendo los derechos porque no quiero que los niños pasen por eso.
my name is Ankit and I'm from India. I'm 17 years old and I'm studying in 11th class. उनकी बेसिक है कि कहते हैं उन्हें खाना चाहिए, पीना चाहिए और रहने के लिए घर चाहिए। तो मोस्टली वर्क करना चाहता हूँ बिकॉज जो पूरे के पूरे वर्ल्ड है उसमें मोस्टली लेस ह्यूमंस आर गेटिंग राइट्स, मोस्टली पीपल्स आर नॉट गेटिंग राइट्स, सो आई वांट टू ब्रिंग देयर वॉइस टू द गवर्नमेंट्स, टू द आवर नेशंस। मैं अपने कम्युनिटी में बात करूँ, क्या कहते हैं आप ह्यूमन राइट्स से क्या चाहते हैं और आप क्या गेट करना चाहते हैं और आपको क्या चीज़ प्रॉब्लम है। मैं उसकी प्रॉब्लम पूछ कर और गवर्नमेंट से कॉन्टेक्ट करके उन्हें शेयर करूँगा कि ये प्रॉब्लम हम सह रहे हैं अपनी सोसाइटी में। आई यूज़ एवरीथिंग टू द कलेक्ट व्यूज़ फ्रॉम चिल्ड्रंस और ह्यूमन अडल्ट्स सो व्हाट दे आर फेसिंग। Mostly right to shelter. I sell because where I am living, there is too many people are living in rent, and mostly people are living in streets. And if you have shelter, you can get something to eat, you can earn, and you can protect yourself from the peoples and from the environment. It's the major thing. जो वर्क होते हैं वो अडल्ट्स कर पाते हैं, लाइक अर्न मनी, और वो बच्चे जो होते हैं वो मनी भी अर्न नहीं कर पाते और उन्हें स्कूल भी जाना पड़ता है तो पेरेंट्स की परमिशन लेके जाते हैं, और कहीं घूमने भी जाना पड़ता है तो पेरेंट्स की परमिशन। बट अडल्ट कहीं भी चले जाते हैं एंड फ्रीली जाते हैं, कुछ डर नहीं है उन्हें जाने का बच्चों को, तो इसलिए अडल्ट्स एडवांटेज उठाते हैं बच्चों के। मेरे हिसाब से तो मोस्टली जो अडल्ट्स होते हैं वो अपनी बात आगे रख देते हैं, अपनी जो भी राइट्स हैं उसे गेट करने के लिए अपने मोस्टली पावर का यूज़ करते हैं, और जो बच्चे होते हैं वो मोस्टली क्वाइट रहते हैं और डर जाते हैं अपनी आवाज़ उठाने के लिए। और तुम्हारी कुछ ज़्यादा वैल्यू बढ़ जाती है कि आप प्राइवेट में जा रहे हैं, यू हैव बिग कॉन्सेप्ट्स फ्रॉम द मैनी पीपल्स, एंड if you are going in government school you don't have many contacts to others, और तुम अच्छी शिक्षा नहीं ग्रहण कर सकते जिस कारण आप प्रॉपरली शिक्षा ग्रहण नहीं कर सकते, जिस कारण आप आवाज़ उठा सको अपनी। और जो प्राइवेट स्कूल में जाते हैं वो इसलिए अपनी वॉइस आगे रख लेता है ताकि उन्हें अच्छी शिक्षा मिले, उन्हें पता है राइट्स के बारे में। बाहर का टूर रखते हैं पढ़ने के लिए, जो कि बाहर बड़ी चीज़ है, तो इसलिए इट्स डिपेंड ऑन मनी। So therefore poor people don't get rights and rich children get rights.
The rights of young people should be a central part of our society.
Needs to be passionate.
Needs to understand the issues.
Opinionated. Need to care. Young people need to be loud and they need to make themselves heard. And if you have an issue, you need to shout about it from the rooftops, because we have an issue with adults generally not listening to our voices. So we need to make our voices as loud as we possibly can.
We're a very rural community and it's really hard to get about.
A number of young people have talked about how shortage of teachers in certain subjects was making it difficult for them to learn the things that they want to learn.
I do believe that further focus has to be on Scotland's rural areas and smaller towns in relation to young people accessing sport and further play activities.
The outdoors allows young people to explore, learn about the world, and most importantly learn about themselves. From my consultation, members said that outdoors builds confidence and friendships, encourages them to take risks and improves their resilience.
I think the biggest issue is Islamophobia young Muslims are experiencing across Scotland through the likes of media and social media.
It is 2018 and no young person or child should be denied their rights to education and safety at school because of bullying, not knowing where the next punch or push will come from, or the next cyber text or any other humiliation. Schools must do more to protect young people and children from bullying.
In university classes, a friend of mine came up to me and he said, Rory, my views often in lectures are being branded as big and phobic, and that they're just being disregarded, when it's just not fair.
I feel so thankful and so grateful for Scotland and its people who have provided me with access to a wide range of opportunities and helped me to start a new life here full of dignity and safety.
By having financial support in addition to SAS, young Keyners would have more space to breathe, enjoy their university years and excel in their education.
Everybody has the right to work, and it's important because there's a lot of unemployment out there.
This legislation would mean Scotland would be a world leader in giving all citizens the right to access sanitary products. This issue should not be ignored. It is unhealthy and unsafe.
What I would like the Scottish Government to address with their legislation is to maybe make accessibility on public services.
Ladies and gentlemen and ministers, is waiting for the train a crime? Is it a crime which justifies a punishment which is discriminatory in the way that it affects only young people, but indiscriminate in the way that it irritates all young people? I think it's a prime example of all young people being tarnished with the same brush.
Of those I spoke to, more than 90% of young people had been held outside our shop, all of them before, during or after school. It's then also my constituency that Tesco's have been caught on multiple occasions, forcing state school pupils to queue outside, whilst private school pupils and members of the public could simply enter the shop. This is clear discrimination.
In 2018, it is deeply concerning that students are not aware of their right to be heard through the punishment procedure in Scottish schools, and that there is no real opportunity for those young people to be heard on this issue.
According to the UN, there are 7 EU member states that continue to permit violence inflicted onto children within the home. The UK is one of them.
Young people are the ones who will be living with the consequences of climate change for the longest time. We need to take substantive action now for the sake of the next generation, and more often than not, it's young people who have the answers as to what we can do.
Yet, we still have work to do. Urgent action is needed to improve political literacy among young people.
If we don't address mental health with this generation, then my generation has to live with these issues for the rest of their lives.
A lot of what care experience young people feel that affects them is discrimination. Whenever they try and tell people that they are care experienced and what they've experienced through their childhood, it's often laughed at or it's often not taken seriously.
I think it's been a hugely successful day, and I think that obviously so much credit can be given to our MSYPs, but a lot of credit can also be given to the policymakers and decision makers who came along, who were really, really willing to engage and actually genuinely listen to the young people and what they were saying.
Just be unafraid, speak up, say your piece. What's the worst that can happen?
My name is Sigurd Mecklenburg Salvesen. I'm here as a child advisor for the Day of General Discussion.
I work in children's rights through Press, which is the Norwegian Save the Children youth organisation. And I tend to spend a lot of time on writing to different national and local newspapers about different instances of rights being violated. I am mostly focused on international, but whenever Norway does something that I disagree with or that I think, violates one of the human rights, I am very vocal about it. For instance, in Belarus or Western Sahara and so on and so forth. And these are cases that, like most people in Norway, don't really know about. But I think that once they get to know a lot more about it, they have the ability to make a difference, make a change, and to convince the people that they elect into power that they should do something about this. the main difference between me and an adult is that an adult has a lot more like money and sometimes a lot more influence. Like an adult can choose how to spend their money, and if they want to like give money to organizations that support rights and so on, while I don't actually like earn money, so I can't. I think I, as a child or as someone who is young, is more inclined to question why everything is the way it is, while a lot of old people just go, okay, but that's the way it's always been, why should we change that now? But they aren't asking the real question, which should be, why haven't we done anything up until now? I think if you are going to write a newspaper, and if you're going to write something to a newspaper that, you know, is going to be published, you have to be kind of angry about something. If you're not angry, then I feel like it's harder to write. Like, you need to be like, this needs to be out there, this needs to come in the newspaper, people need to know about this. But when you have things such as the current situation in Western Sahara, where the people are being beaten, where they are being oppressed, where they can't vote, where they are being more or less completely controlled by Morocco, where most of the population grows up in refugee camps, then you can't just sit there and spread the good vibes. You also have to make people feel like these rights aren't just the rights of someone far, far away. This could have been them. This could have been their rights that are violated. When you only like think about your day-to-day lives, you don't like think about the bigger things, the bigger questions, the bigger issues. But I think everyone, like deep inside, want to care, they want to know. And therefore I write. There are times where I feel like I could never make a change and nothing will ever change, and huge changes are beyond my or anyone else's control. But then you just stop for a second and you look at just in the numbers. You look at how many people living in democracies and how that number has increased in the last 200 years. You look at the amount of people who are vaccinated, the amount of people who can read, the amount of people with access to information, to education, to jobs. And you see that progress is being made, even if you just can't see it from day to day. But in the long run, things are becoming much, much better. Sometimes I feel like not caring is even worse. Because if you don't care and if you don't try to make a difference, then a difference is never going to be made. If everyone thinks that, okay, I'm not going to be able to make a difference, nothing is going to happen, I don't have the power. If everyone thinks that, nothing will ever happen. You need to fight for it, you need to try to create a better world. I think children can both bring questioning and answering, to be honest. I think a lot of adults kind of forget what it's like to be a kid, what it's like to be a child, and what kind of problems you face and how it is, because you're so used to being the person you are now that you can't remember the person you were 20, 30, 50, maybe even 60 years ago. Helping other people, that's actual politics. That should be a part of any political decision, should be how can we help people, and not just how can we help ourselves.
Mi experiencia más feliz al defender derechos humanos es el sentirme parte de un cambio, sentir que soy parte de una generación que se preocupa por otros, una generación más humanista en el que todos somos hermanos y en el que todos debemos salir adelante.
Sí, la entrega de juguetes a niños del hospital, ya que al ver la felicidad de sus rostros no se compara, porque un niño feliz es un niño bien. Si están bien, la sociedad puede tener un gran cambio, porque los niños no solo son el futuro, sino también somos el presente de Guatemala.
Sí he tenido experiencia feliz cuando realizamos una actividad a favor de los niños, que fue el 1 de octubre. El Día de los Niños pudimos invitar a muchos niños trabajadores y pudimos ver cómo los niños disfrutaban de ese momento, cómo ellos jugaban, comían, entonces eso nos hizo feliz porque hicimos valer algún derecho de ellos y lo pudimos celebrar. Me siento feliz y satisfecha porque sé que estoy haciendo algo por los niños que necesitan de mi ayuda, que no tienen esa voz para decir que no están haciendo valer sus derechos, entonces...
Una bonita experiencia fue cuando con una organización fuimos a entregar víveres y ropa a las personas que viven directamente en el basurero municipal. Entonces fue una bonita experiencia por el hecho de que pude ver la sonrisa de los niños o la alegría de ellos al recibir algo que tal vez no era muy grande, pero les llenaba su corazón y servía para que ellos pudieran mantenerse calientes y pudieran seguir con vida.
También hemos ido a las lagunetas y a sitios públicos, además de fomentar al no trabajo infantil, aunque sabemos que en nuestra sociedad es casi imposible porque el Estado no nos presta la atención debida.
Me sentí violentado cuando una vez con autoridades locales tuvimos una reunión y me excluyeron totalmente de una conversación y quedé fuera de un salón donde estaban solo adultos platicando y realmente mi voz no contó, ni tuve un voto ni una participación protagónica.
Sí, porque el poder público del Estado no nos presta la atención debida, sino que nos excluye como que si no existiéramos, como si no estuviéramos.
Sí, la otra vez estaba en el parque de Momostenango, Totonicapán, donde había un niño que me estaba lustrando los zapatos. Entonces yo empecé a platicar con él y le pregunté cuántos años tenía y él me dijo que tenía 7 años y le pregunté que si estudia y me dijo que no, que a él le gustaría, pero que por razones del trabajo no puede ir porque es el hermano mayor y que su papá no les da gasto, entonces él tiene que ayudar a su mamá para poder ayudarlos y comer algo.
En una ocasión, mientras viajaba en el transporte público, pude presenciar cómo se violentaba a una niña. Entonces esto me puso triste porque yo no pude realizar ninguna acción para defenderla.
Defender los derechos humanos de niños, niñas y adolescentes es una experiencia única. El sentir que realmente puedes ayudar a los demás a lograr una mejor condición de vida es algo que no puedes igualar.
Tal vez en otra oportunidad a mí no me hicieron valer mis derechos, pero quiero que los niños, las niñas no pasen por eso.
Me siento feliz porque puedo ayudar además a más personas y más a los niños.
Being a human involves protecting human rights, like a real human who believes in their values and have belief.
I'm Ariadna. I'm from Moldova, Chisinau. Here I'm the member of Child Advisory Team.
Yeah, it's like the perfect question for me because I argue with a lot of my friends because I support LGBT community and in our country we have a lot of homophobe and like Ariadna, how you can do this and also when you stop bullying, when you are not a bullying victim but you try to help other victims. At one time, the other day, you start to be a victim. Because like all this anger turns on you because you help them and you be on their side. We live on the same planet, and like, I know, maybe I could live, I don't know, 60 years, I could live 20 years, but after me will be also world. So like, each of us made their impact in the world that we are living. So if no one will do nothing, so the world will be the same it was 100, 200 years ago. But if we keep going, even with little steps, we move on. So it's better. Get out of your fancy building. Go and talk to people, listen to their stories, because you can learn a lot more from them. So once I argued so much with my math teacher, so the day then I was thinking, in that moment I was thinking, just I don't want to do anything, I don't want to speak up, like I will like listen to her when she bullied me, when she was just not stopping from humiliating me. And I was, at that moment I would say like, Ariadna, why you just, like, she was saying to me something in the context, she was saying to me something, and then I would say, you're not right, you like, I want to do this, and that, like, all this humiliation just come up on me, and like I was thinking, Ariadna, why you say that it's not right? Why can't you in that moment just shut up and not do anything? Because if you will just in that moment shut up, you will not be this, humiliation and this bullying, and I felt so powerless. My father, he's the person that always support me, and I'm thankful for this, because even in moments when I wanted to give up, he was like, Ariadna, you can't do this, and he's like, oh, so cute. Compassion, from my opinion, is the most powerful emotion a person can have, because with compassion you can understand people, you can feel them, you can feel their stories.
Beijo e abraço. Eu chego da escola, minha mãe me dá um beijão.
Chamado que tem os direitos das crianças.
Dentro desse livro tinha
os direitos das crianças.
Cada criança tem direito de ter uma
família.
Sobre ajudar a família.
Direito de ser criança.
Direito de ajudar os pais.
Toda tem direito de ter alimento.
Toda criança tem direito de ser
Tem pessoas, igual aquela imagem ali, que tem comida na mesa, tem que agradecer muito. Tem crianças que estão esperando para conseguir coisa para comer. Muitas crianças sofrem isso nos outros estados. Aqui em Santa Maria, um pouco, mais ou menos, que acontece isso. Aqui tem muito disso daqui em todos os países. Quem falar que não tem pobre no país está mentindo. Tem muitos pobres em todos os países.
A escola marista ajuda muito. Eu tenho alimento em casa, porque às vezes como ela tem vários, como o almoço, que muita gente não tem. A escola marista dispõe coisa que eles não têm em casa.
não tem direito, sabe?
Temos direito à vida, à saúde, à alimentação.
Criança também precisa de direito.
Uma escola onde eu posso aprender bastante com os professores.
Temos direitos para garantir o futuro das pessoas.
Tem muitos deveres, direitos, na verdade, que são negligenciados. E a cara dura e eu cruzo os braços a isso e não faço nada. Eu acho que essa situação pode sim ser revertida.
Acho assim, primeiramente, a gente tem que estar junto com outras crianças e adolescentes. A gente tem que buscar o novo. Estar em rodas de conversa, em debates, assim, junto com professores, escola, um apoiando o outro.
Atualmente, podemos ver muitos casos de crianças que vão defender os seus direitos, mas acabam correndo uns sérios riscos. Eu posso dar o exemplo de Malala, que ela foi defender seu direito da proteção e do estudo.
Então, a partir do momento que eu vou defender a minha tese, a minha ideia, eu tenho que saber que eu vou enfrentar várias pessoas que vão estar opostas à minha ideia, mas eu tenho que enfrentar para eu poder fazer a diferença no mundo.
O Estatuto da Criança e do Adolescente é a garantia para que as facilidades e oportunidades sejam efetivadas e que nós crescemos com liberdade e respeito. Mas afinal, como nós, enquanto protagonistas da nossa história, podemos garantir os nossos direitos?
Primeiro você precisa entender a realidade de cada criança e adolescente. Nem toda criança tem os mesmos direitos dos outros e algumas têm mais oportunidade que as outras. E você precisa de também entidades, adultos e etc. para ter motivação.
Tanto na saúde e na educação do nosso país, mas isso me deixa com muita dúvida, porque 8,3 bilhões o governo investiu em estádios para a Copa. E agora me digam, quanto vocês investiram na educação do nosso país esse ano?
Eu sonho para que um dia os direitos humanos eles sejam para todo mundo, e não para uma classe específica como acontece hoje em dia. E que a saúde, os serviços públicos em geral, eles também sejam para a maioria, os que precisam atualmente e os que podem precisar no futuro. E que não sejam atendidos somente aqueles que têm prestígio ou dinheiro para tal, e sim todos, e que tenha qualidade.
Meu nome é Maria Eduarda, eu tenho 16 anos e estudo no Colégio Marisa Dom Silvério. Hoje a gente também discutiu um pouco sobre como é arriscado para crianças e adolescentes protegerem os direitos humanos, porque muitas vezes isso leva a agressões contra eles, até mesmo homicídios. E no Brasil, em 2007, foi criado a Política Nacional de Proteção aos Defensores dos Direitos Humanos. Apesar de, na teoria, essa política ser ótima, na prática ela não é eficiente, visto que jovens e adolescentes morrem todos os dias tentando defender os seus direitos.
Pode ser o que quiser, protagonista da sua história e pronta para o que der e vier. Champagnat tinha um sonho e lutou para a realização. Hoje, com orgulho, sou marista de coração.
I think that if we were to have more children defending their own rights, like the adults would look at that and think, wow, he's only 11 years old, for example, and he's doing much more than I could to defend his rights.
Eu sonho para que um dia os direitos humanos eles sejam para todo mundo, e não para uma classe específica como acontece hoje em dia. E que a saúde, os serviços públicos em geral, eles também sejam para a maioria, os que precisam atualmente e os que podem precisar no futuro.
What we've got to be for children's human rights defenders is brave and confident that you can speak out for your stories or for your rights.
A escola poderia apoiar as crianças e os jovens, promovendo debates onde a democracia se fortaleceria, se desenvolveria.
Então, a partir do momento que eu vou defender a minha tese, a minha ideia, eu tenho que saber que eu vou enfrentar várias pessoas que vão estar opostas à minha ideia, mas eu tenho que enfrentar para eu poder fazer a diferença no mundo.
Então, devia existir mais uma atuação jovem que deva exercer e gritar pela ajuda, falar que precisa mesmo dessa atuação e precisa da execução certa de tais direitos.
Eu me acho porque se a gente não defender os direitos humanos, quem vai defender por a gente? Isso pode ocorrer sérios problemas para a pessoa que está sofrendo.
Entonces, me siento feliz porque soy una voz de ellos y puedo decir que se les está dando un incumplimiento tan injusto a los derechos de ellos.
Children and young people's voices are really important, especially in the issues that directly affect them, but they're not always taken into consideration or taken seriously. Children have the right to have their opinions heard in all matters that affect them, and for that to be taken seriously. That's not always the case, but it should be.
Trabajo y lucho para que se hagan realidad los sueños y los derechos de los niños, niñas y adolescentes.
We're the ones who will be voting. We're the ones who will become decision makers in the future. We have a voice and it needs to be heard.
Individuals could make small steps to make an impact in their community.
Standing up against something you don't believe in or helping people who need help, that's helping and defending human rights. So I think people should try to do as much as they can, even if it really doesn't seem like that much to them.
The child's voice should be heard. We're told to keep quiet and listen to our elders, and I feel like if they're being treated wrong, they should speak up.
The children are our future. They are the people who are going to lead our world someday. They deserve to have a voice because it's them that are going to be affected by the decisions that adults make now.
I believe everyone's voice should be heard, because, especially children, because they provide a perspective that's not really tainted.
I believe a child's voice should be heard because if they don't speak up for themselves, who else would?
We should just support people who are trying to speak up and talk about what they believe in, and just support everyone's basic human rights, not necessarily people who you align with their beliefs.
They just need to be encouraged by their parents, their teachers, and the adults around them to stand up and take part in society and help make society a better society.
It's time to take action. The children are the future.
Stand up for what you believe in.
Everyone deserves a voice.
No matter how big or small, everyone can make an impact.
You have a voice, so use it.
The difference between an adult and my voice is adults, which is people that I should be listening to because they're elders, but I feel like adults should be listening to children's opinions too.
Children need to speak up because we're not just the future, we're today as well. The decisions that are made today will impact us today and in the future, so we need to make sure that our voices are heard by the people who are making decisions.
Young people need to be loud and they need to make themselves heard, and if you have an issue, you need to shout about it from the rooftops, because we have an issue with adults generally not listening to our voices, so we need to make our voices as loud as we possibly can.
Be unafraid, speak up, say your piece. What's the worst that can happen?
I've got a right to speak.